It's hard to get good help these days, and we assume the people we trust to do a job have a handle on what they're doing. But even those with the best of intentions can make unfortunate mistakes.
It's a typical suburban neighborhood, and a contractor has arrived to lay some carpet in a recently built house.
Hello.
It's a routine job that the contractor has been doing every day for many years. Once he's inside, he rolls out the new carpet as the lady of the house looks on.
Are you sure this is gonna fit?
Oh, yes. Don't
Of
worry,
course,
everything's
his
gonna
customer is concerned that it be done perfectly.
I think so.
The contractor assures her that everything will be fine.
Listen, we're gonna...
Confident that he knows what she wants, the woman leaves him to his work.
All right, thank you.
Her son plays in the next room until Mom calls him to lunch.
Time for lunch.
Meanwhile, the contractor labors away at every detail of the job, smoothing out the carpet, securing the edges, nailing everything in place, and ironing out the seams. He works up a pretty good sweat in the process. When it's all done, it's worth it, and he thinks about having a cigarette. Then he notices something. Right in the middle of the carpet, there's a lump. The contractor can't believe his stupidity, sealing his cigarettes under the middle of the massive carpet. Well, there's no way he's going to tear up the whole job and do it again, all for one lousy pack of cigarettes. So, while no one is looking, he takes a shortcut. He pounds the lump flat. It saves him a lot of trouble, and no one will notice anyway. As he smooths down the carpet, the customer appears.
How's it going?
Oh.
And she's pleased with the job he's done.
Everything looks wonderful.
Of course, he's glad that she approves.
If there's any problems, which I'm sure there won't be, give me a call. Service is my middle name.
Thank you again.
You're welcome.
Out by his van, she thanks him and says she'll recommend him to her friends. It's then that the contractor opens the door to his van, and there on the dashboard are his cigarettes. This raises a serious question, and he quickly gets an answer.
Mom, where's Chester?
The lump in the carpet was not his cigarettes. A slightly grisly, slightly comical scenario. But did this ever actually happen?
Well, many legends, and in fact many kinds of folk narratives, often have a very graphic image associated with them. One folklorist called these tableau scenes, a scene that is of lasting memory visually. And I think this legend has such a scene. I don't think it reflects any kind of hostility towards animals, but it uses our empathetic feelings for small animals to create this visceral reaction and this graphic image.
While that graphic image has been around since the early 60s, for many, it's no laughing matter. Which is why the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals works full-time on both sheltering animals in need of care and on training humans to be cautious when pets are nearby.
I have a lot of pets at home, and when we have workers at the house, usually I'm very strict and controlling about where they are, what has to be done. You see people that come into your house that are not mindful of your pets. They might let them out. A dog might bark, and the contractor may respond in an inappropriate fashion.
Unfortunately, animal cruelty isn't restricted to legends.
You have people that have taken the concept of crushing live animals to another level. We were involved in helping to prosecute a crusher, a person who stomps on small animals for sexual gratification. It's a real thing.
But in the legend, the hamster is not intentionally harmed. It is gallows humor at the expense of a small animal. Yet another reason it may resonate is because of our suspicions about a larger inhabitant of the urban jungle.
This legend, I think, suggests that many of the people who work for us and whom we pay are trying to get the job done as quickly as possible with the most profit to them and without a lot of concern for the client whom they're working for.
In deconstructing this legend, we find that it rests on the stereotyped image of the careless contractor.
Rather than taking up the rug to see what might be under there, he takes the easy way out. He pounds it down, only later to find his package of cigarettes in his truck and to discover that it's the pet of the owner that he's pounded flat.
The story is believable because shoddy, unlicensed contractors are a fact of life.
You have to say, I am not a licensed contractor on the advertisement.
That's your card,
Yes.
and that's your price.
Yes.
I'm going to give you a ticket.
Most of them belong to what's called the underground economy. They don't have contractors' licenses. The consumer has very little recourse if there's a problem with the project.
So, to put the screws to dishonest tradesmen, the license board sets up the occasional sting.
You have a warrant.
So do you have a contractor's license?
Yeah.
Do you?
We'll pose as homeowners. We'll ask them to come out and do a simple improvement for us, or perhaps a repair.
Hey, come in here, right now. You don't drive a car without insurance or without a driver's license. You don't contract without a license.
Here, it's the humans that get nailed. But what about the legend, where the trapped creature is a furry or feathered friend?
Animals getting trapped in houses, there's two good ones. A lot of times squirrels and skunks. If it's in a rural area, the skunks will get behind the bathtubs and they'll hide in there. The house will be drywalled, and then unfortunately they'll die in there, and then everything comes with it. The other one is the birds come in. Birds have flown into heater ducts. Those birds get in there and then they fire up the heaters to test them, and they find the birds.
But does this mean the legend of the hammered hamster actually happened?
To have something crawl underneath the carpet like that while you're laying, it's pretty much impossible.
And in fact, the story is fiction.
I would say it was a cautionary tale. Be careful, no matter what you do. You know, if you're going to lay carpet, make sure that there's no small animals around.
Or for that matter, big, dumb beasts. Trouble can come in the form of shoddy workmanship, or in the form of a phone call in the night.